Welcome to The Strategic Edge, the podcast for entrepreneurs and business owners who want a competitive edge in the market. They want to be seen as the expert in their industry, and they're looking for cutting edge and innovative strategies that work across industries to help them scale their business like a boss. My name is Ann Carden, and I'm your host. Welcome to the show. Hey, welcome back to another show. I'm excited to be with you again this week as I talk about how building influence can affect your income in your coaching, consulting, or professional services business. What I really want to dive into today is positioning. It is the outside perception that people have of you, of your business, of how good you are, even the fees that you charge. And when you are positioned well in the marketplace, you can influence people to pay those higher fees. So you can demand more premium fees and more premium prices. Now, of course, how you have things packaged and structured in your business is a huge piece of this. But I like to say that when you're positioned well, it is like selling yourself and your services before the sales conversation. So let's dive in to influence to increase your income. The first thing is, what do people see when they come across you for the first time? So let's say even someone refers you business and they say, you know, so-and-so, you're a great business consultant or a great business coach, and I would love to refer you to them. Go and have a conversation with them. It's very likely that that person will go and check you out. They're going to go see what you're all about, right? Who you are. They're going to want to know some things about you before they just jump on a call. And if you are not positioned well, if they can't see that you're for them, if they can't see that you're a specialist in the area that maybe they're looking to get some help with, you will probably lose that person. You may not get that conversation at all. So I like to say that this is almost like pre-selling you. If you get your positioning right, now when the person goes and checks you out, it should actually convince them, wow, you're the right person. You're the person they need to talk to. Look, you've got all of this credibility. You're trustworthy. Your positioning should do all of these things. It should also be very clear why you're the specialist that you are. You should look like a specialist. It should also be very clear what you have done with other people that can be relatable to what they're looking for. And so all of these things are part of positioning. When you're positioned well, again, you can demand higher fees. You can look like the expert, the specialist. The other thing that you want to do is you want to influence through your content. Now, this is also part of positioning, but it is a separate piece. You want people to be able to find things that you have written, maybe articles, maybe you've been featured in the media, maybe you've been featured on people's podcasts, you've spoken on stages, you've got content and things out there that show, again, that you know what you're doing. It can show credibility. It can break down your process. It can educate people on the things that you do and maybe even how you came to do those things or how you became good in those things. This is all part of influence. So you want your content to pull people in and build that know, like, and trust. It can speed the sales cycle when you do these things and you do them well. And a lot of people don't think about positioning this way. They don't think about their content this way, but it truly does speed the sales cycle. It speeds the know, like, and trust. You know, years and years ago, I should look up the statistics and where this came from, but it was said that there had to be 7 touches before you made a sale. And the last statistic I heard someone say was, it's now around 99 or something like that. But when you are positioned in the marketplace to influence and you're putting content out there, you're elevating your brand, you're showing people what you're all about, you're building your visibility, you're building your credibility, it will actually help people want to work with you faster, because now they don't have to really, can I trust this person? Does this person really know what they're doing? And it can really speed the process of them not having to follow you as long, them not having to go through funnels, all of these things. And especially if you're working with what I like to call ultra premium clients, you need to be positioned well in the marketplace anyway. It's such a critical component of you getting those bigger contracts, of you getting those bigger clients. And so you want to make sure that you have these things in place. But the influence that you can have through your content is such a great piece. So how can you do this? What are some things that you can do to influence your market? Well, I already said you can write articles. You can get published. You can submit articles to different publications, to different things if you're working in your local market, to different things in your local market. Look at places and opportunities where you can speak, where you can be a standout brand, and you can go speak right to your ideal clients. And then make sure that you take advantage of the photo op. Make sure that you take advantage, you get pictures of you speaking, or you get sound bites, or you get a sizzle reel, or you actually get the speaking recording, so that you can turn those things into marketing assets that you can use over and over and again in your business to help your positioning, but also to influence. Do you think it's much easier to get booked for another speaking gig when they can see that you've already done it? Yes, right? This is all leverage. It's just like when you get featured on podcasts or you have a podcast, it's much more likely that people are going to put you on their podcast. Oh, she's got her own podcast. Or, oh, I see that she's been featured, or he's been featured on a lot of podcasts. Oh, this person would be a great guest for my podcast. I get people that reach out to me all the time and ask me to be a guest on their podcast. I don't go out and look for those opportunities. They come to me, but it's all because of the positioning and the influence that I have out there, both online and offline, quite honestly. I have a network that I built offline. I also have a huge community and network that I built online on all kinds of different platforms. And so these are really important key pieces if you want to be able to demand more premium fees. So when you do these things well, it actually increases your income and you can work with higher value clients. So how can you put together some marketing assets, some digital assets, some content? I'm doing it right now with you. I'm sharing with you how you can elevate your brand, how you can demand more premium fees by actually getting positioned better, by actually influencing people through content, through getting on stages, getting in the media, getting on podcasts. All of those things, I'm actually doing it with you right now as I'm sharing this podcast. So if you do this in your business, it can, number one, help you stand out against everyone else that maybe offers the same thing that you offer. If you're a business coach, a business consultant, a marketing strategist, a graphic designer, right? Or you do brands, how can you rise above everybody else in the industry that's doing the same thing? Well, it's going to come through your positioning and through your influence, and both of these things work well together. The other thing is, don't forget about a lot of the digital assets that you have the opportunity to utilize, which are free. And we're talking about social media. LinkedIn, for example, is a free platform. Now, I do use the premium platform on LinkedIn. I encourage my clients to do the same thing because a lot of them are looking for clients and looking for those big opportunities on LinkedIn. But get positioned well on LinkedIn because it is a search engine and you will show up on the first page of Google if you optimize your profile. That is a digital asset. It's like a website. Get positioned on Facebook. Even if you don't do a lot on Facebook, same thing. It will come up on Google when people Google your name. And so even if you don't play a lot on Facebook, it's still a free asset to you. Get it in place, get it set up right, get it optimized so that it's very clear what you do, who you help, how you can help them. And let those things come up on the first page of Google. When you're on syndicated podcast or when you do syndicated press releases or articles, those things typically will show up on the first page of Google because they're out there on multiple platforms. Think about writing a book. That is influence, right? When you write a book or you have a book, sharing your knowledge and your expertise and your experience. Think about things that put you in a thought leadership position. So you're out there sharing your beliefs. A lot of times it can be a rant. One of the things that I talk about all the time that frustrates me is when people call themselves a business coach or a business consultant and they've never owned a business in their life, especially if they're trying to go in and help people with their businesses and they're calling themselves a business coach, but they've never had a business. They don't know what it's like to own one. They don't know what it's like to sign the front of a paycheck. I talk about these things all the time because I've built multiple businesses. I've been total in business about 41 years, 13 years in corporate business management. But then I started building my own businesses, and I built 6 businesses. I've sold 5 of those. And so I've got a vast amount of business experience, and I've worked in over 50 different industries, or 50 different types of businesses, I should say, as a coach and a consultant. So I make sure that those things are really in my content. I make sure those things are on my website. I make sure that I share those things on my profiles so that people can see that there is a difference. And this is a really important piece of positioning as well. So, influence through media, through letting people see you, get more visible, build your brand, elevate your brand, but make sure that your content and everything that you're putting out there is on point to pull people into your ecosystem or get people more convinced they need to book a call with you, or they need to get into a sales conversation, or they need to buy from you. And then you'll also make sure that your fees match your positioning. So if you want premium fees, make sure your positioning and your brand and everything is premium. It looks high end. If you look budget, you're not going to be able to demand those higher fees. And I will tell you this, when LinkedIn would be a good example of this. When people try to connect with me on LinkedIn and they don't have a profile picture, immediately I think, it might be a scammy profile, right? It might not be a real profile. And even if I go and check it out, what they have on their profile, people do business with people. I want to know who I'm connecting with. I want to be able to see a picture of them. And I don't want to have to go dig around and try to find out what that person looks like. And I see so many people make this very simple mistake on social media where they'll put their dog in, their Facebook profile picture, or they'll put their logo. I don't do business with a logo. I do business and connect with humans, right? With people. And people do the same thing with you. So if somebody comes and they try to connect with me with a logo, I do not even connect with them. And I will bet you that most people don't. Or if they don't have a profile picture, I won't even connect with them. So all of these things can build your influence. They can build your positioning. Put the effort in, put the work in, and it will come back to you and it will pay off. Also, make sure that you've got great content on your website. So when people come to your website, they can go and look at things and check you out. I've got a YouTube channel. I've got an Instagram account. And I don't do a lot on Instagram, and I'm not a huge YouTuber, but I use it. I repurpose my content. I am seen everywhere. You can find me on practically any platform that is really, really important and valuable. I haven't done a lot with TikTok, but that's a fairly new platform. I've been on Clubhouse. You have to have visibility in all arenas. Now, you may only have 1 or 2 places where you really spend your time, but to still be visible in all places can build your influence, can help you demand more premium fees, and it helps your positioning. So I hope this has been helpful. Go out there, level up, start building that brand, start getting seen by your ideal clients, getting in front of them, give them something to check out when they check you out, And also, it will get you more people into your network. More people, it will also get you more opportunities. More people will come to you to ask you to be on their podcast, to ask you to be a speaker at their event. It will bring opportunities to you. So it is so worth the time. If you need help to do any of these things, please reach out to me. You can go to acarden.com and book a call. If you want to get better positioning in the marketplace, if somebody Googles your name, how many pages would you come up on? Would you come up? That's part of positioning. That's part of influence. So if you need help doing these things, if you want to get those ultra premium clients, work with the best, you want to be seen as the best, you want to be seen as the top in your industry for what it is you do, then take advantage of the things that I'm telling you today and go get them in place. It will be a game changer. So if you need help, reach out to me. Please subscribe to my podcast. Make sure you hit the notification bell. And I can't wait to talk to you next week. You have an amazing day. God bless you. Bye-bye.